What's going on, guys? Another fun one for you today. We are doing a vlog tour of our hometown, Canandaigua, New York. But before we get into it, we're at one of our favorite coffee spots. We're gonna grab a cup of joe. We'll be back at it. Let's go.
Let's go. What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Anthony. This is my partner Avery, and we are the American Home Team. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell so you're notified every Tuesday and Thursday when we release a new video.
100%. And guys, we are licensed realtors here in the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York. So that means as much as we love making these videos, we would love even more to help you with your real estate needs. There is a phone number and an email address. Go ahead, shoot us a text, shoot us an email, DM on social media, reach out. We would love to help you make a smooth move to the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York.
Yep.
And with that said, guys, we literally get calls every single day from people just like you making their move. So we absolutely love it. Feel free any time of the day, doesn't matter. Reach out to those numbers, that email address. We'd love to work with you.
Absolutely.
Let's roll into the video.
Let's go.
All right, guys, so we got our fuel. We're sitting here in the car. We're about to head into town to start doing that tour of Canandaigua. But guys, Working Class Coffee is it's a newer coffee joint. They serve some food, some pastries, some good stuff. It's really, really good coffee, and it's an awesome atmosphere. It's not one of those super quiet, dark coffee shops that you might go into, but it's in a new part of town called Factory 243. And Factory 243 was built what, 2 years ago now? Yeah. In 2020, and it is a bunch of apartments and just rentals, and then there's some industry here, like this coffee shop, right? So, and it's right off the railroad tracks, which is a really, really cool vibe. And they're actually planning on expanding Factory 243 further down into some of the old warehouses and factories that are down on this part of Canandaigua, off of like Gorham Street, in between Gorham and Ontario Street. So it's gonna be really, really cool. Got our coffee, we'll get after it.
All right, guys, so Avery's back here flying the drone, hopefully to get some good aerial footage of the project that's going on behind us here. So this is the building of the new YMCA. And so this YMCA in Canandaigua is gonna be a total of around 82,000 square feet, which is absolutely ginormous. I don't know if there is a estimated completion date yet, but this is gonna have all new expansive facilities for childcare, for healthcare actually services. They're gonna be partnering with healthcare providers in the local area, and they're gonna have outdoor sports fields, which is actually gonna be badass. And there's gonna be a ton here. Swimming pools, there is going to be obviously the weight room, basketball courts, tennis courts, and all sorts of different facilities that is going to be housed right inside this 82,000 square foot property here. Over here, if you can see back here, is Constellation Brands. They're actually the ones who are helping to fund this project. And so the current YMCA is actually on Main Street, Canandaigua, and it is not 82,000 square feet. This building is going to be a monster, and it's going to be home to so many local high school athletes, college athletes who are looking to just get better in the off season, and you know, all around just make the community a healthier, more fun place to be.
Yeah, guys, and Anthony had mentioned Constellation Brands. So Constellation Brands is a monster of a company, and in previous videos we've mentioned that there's not a lot of commercial industry around here in the Finger Lakes. Well, Constellation Brands is one of them. They have many employees. They do business all over the world. And it's just a monster of a company. The Sands family owns it. They have some beautiful houses on Canandaigua Lake. Maybe we can get some footage of the castle that they just built. But incredible company, but that is one of the few bigger corporate entities in the area.
Yep, and a note on Constellation Brands is, if a lot of you guys follow the entrepreneur Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V started Empathy Wines in New York City, and he had recently sold Empathy Wines to Constellation Brands. Just to show you what kind of level Constellation is on, they're enormous. And I'm sure you've heard of them if you're out of state even. They're just a monster corporate facility, and they do a lot of good in the community too. So it's pretty cool. They fund a lot of the projects down at Finger Lakes Community College. So that being said, guys, just wanted to show you the construction being done. This is set to open in the near future. So we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll update you as the project moves forward. All right, guys, so we're taking a stroll south down Main Street, Canandaigua. On Main Street, we got a whole bunch of more or less locally owned mom and pop stores.
See it behind us.
Yeah, you can see it over here. We got some over here as well. Over here to the left is one of our other favorite coffee shops called the Dolly Java. Real kind of, I'd say a hipster kind of vibe in there. But very good coffee, very good atmosphere for, you know, studying or working or just hanging out with your friends, having a good time, having a good cup of joe. We got some other, you know, bakery stores and some things like that. So
like we said before, we grew up here, right? So this is sort of our bread and butter in Canandaigua. And so along Main Street was at one point in time one of the widest main streets in the country. And what makes that really cool is that the development that has gone on recently has sort of kept that history. And we have a lot of restaurants, a lot of local mom and pop shops, music stores, barber shops. There's some attorneys, offices, so on and so forth. But right now, you know, we are heading south down Main Street. If you go back up north, we'll show some drone footage of the dealerships that are further up north. That and Constellation is probably the extent of the commercial industry that you're gonna get here in Canandaigua. All right, guys, and one thing we want to mention, so first and foremost, these are our boys right here that are up doing construction. That's JC Concepts, that's doing the construction on Kicks on Main. Kicks on Main is actually a relatively newer restaurant here on Main Street, Canandaigua. Great vibe. They have a rooftop bar and sit-down area, as well as a literal hole in the wall where you can sit up on the bar. But JC Concepts doing their work up there. They are masters at construction. We're friends with the owner. We're friends with the project manager. Fantastic.
They do a very good job.
American-based company. Local-based. They take care of their people. They're a fantastic company. Just wanted to make that mention.
All right, guys, so right behind us, we have Barbers Barbershop. Sean Barber is the owner of it, and he's our go-to guy for our fresh cleanups. So if you're relocating here and you decide, you know, oh, I've been moving for about a week or two or three or a month, and I need a cleanup, Well, you got a place to go right here. This is our guy. We trust him with everything. I've got a scar on the back of my head, and he deals with it. So
yeah, and it's one of those barber shops. Doesn't have a lot of bullshit with it. Not a lot of drama. Not a lot of weird things going on with some of the employees. It's just Sean and one other guy, and they do a great job, and they work by referral only. Yep. So if you guys go and you want to work with Sean, just let him know Avery and Anthony sent you.
Absolutely. Good dudes in there. Good dudes. They'll do a good job for you.
All right, so right now we are at the Maxion stage here, pretty much in smack dab center of Canandaigua. We're close to basically everything. Like I was saying before, from Farmington, which is further north of us, Canandaigua Farmington Town Line Road, head down 332, you get all of the dealerships, you get sort of the more commercial aspect of things, and then 332 actually turns in to North Main Street. North Main Street is a really historic area as far as Canandaigua goes, because Canandaigua was founded in 1791. That's when it became a town, and a lot of the early settlers, that's where they started post offices. That's where we had Alexander Hamilton. His office was over here on North Main Street. He was the treasurer, right? So way back in the day, those houses, those buildings date way back into the late 1700s, early 1800s. And then you move further down South Main Street, and that's where you get a lot of the shopping areas. You get the mom and pop stores, you get some of the restaurants, and then there's a new brewery called Frequentum, and that's a nice vibe area to sit down, have some sours. There's a lot of good sour beer there. And then you're, what, 5 to 7 minute walk to the lake.
Yeah.
If you wanted to walk, or it's like a 2-minute drive from Frequentum down to the lake. You have a sub shop, you have a real estate office, you have some storage options, a gas station or two. Then you hit Eastern Boulevard and 5 and 20. That's gonna be the next biggest area of like shopping, work, that type of thing. And, oh, by the way, there's Roseland Water Park right there next to the lake. We'll show you some B-roll drone footage of Roseland. Pretty cool. Water slides, wave pool, that kind of thing.
Super fun day to go out with the family and hang out at Roseland. And another cool thing that we haven't mentioned yet is up here on Main Street, Canandaigua, you can actually rent out bicycles, and you can take it from all the way in the beginning of Main Street up by the old YMCA all the way down to the lake. And you can park it down at the lake. I mean, really, that can be your transportation.
Yeah.
So everything is close enough to ride on a bicycle in maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Two things that I wanted to mention on these videos here. 2 different times, certainly not the only times that this town has made national media, but number 1 is pretty cool. On the show, The Best Food I Ever Ate on the Food Network, was a restaurant called Simply Crepes. They make a meal called the rugby, and that meal was featured on that show on the Food Network, which is pretty cool.
Simply Crepes is located right there.
Right behind us.
You really can't see it because it's cut off by the building there, but it's right there behind us.
Super good food.
Not far away.
If you have gluten allergies or anything like that, my wife has celiac, so they provide all that for her. They can do everything gluten-free, and it's fantastic. The other thing that I wanted to mention, over here on the other side of us, there's a bicycle store called, what is it, RGE? And
RV&E.
RV&E.
Yeah.
And they made local, I guess, comedic national media by, we had a kid that actually we went to school with, the sibling. One night he was out in the town, a little bit too much to drink, and there was half of a bicycle that they had sticking off the building, and he decided he wanted to jump up and climb onto it, and as soon as he got up on it, it broke off the building, and he face planted, got knocked out by the street, and it was on all the local comedy shows, like or not local but national, like Ridiculousness by Rob Dyrdek,
America's Funniest Home Videos,
America's Home, and Tosh.0.
Yep.
So that was right on the heart of Main Street here, right behind us, and just thought that was a little funny. Hopefully we can play a clip of that video.
Yeah, we'll see if our guys can do it. Oh, never mind. Oh, Dave, are you okay? Oh shit.
And but I just wanted to mention that because you've probably seen our town, but you didn't realize that it was this town. Yeah. So and now you know.
And when people think about the Finger Lakes, they think about Canandaigua. Yeah. Canandaigua is probably one of the most heavily traveled areas. And if you go on like niche.com or you go on any travel website out there and you look up like affordable honeymoons or affordable staycations or vacations, right? The Finger Lakes is gonna pop up, but Canandaigua is gonna be on the top of that list. Down on the lakefront, we'll show you some video of the new hotel and condo building that was just built. It took a very long time and it was very expensive to be built. There was a lot of hubba bubba over it because of taxes and other things like that. A lot of the locals hated the construction process, but it's actually a very nice building.
Very nice place to stay.
Yep, and it's right there on the lakefront, yep. Next to a brewery, next to some restaurants. So we'll show you some of that. But Canandaigua is a frequently traveled town. Even though it's on the smaller side of a town, it's certainly not a city. It is frequently traveled and one of the more destination spots here in the Finger Lakes.
And that's not just us being biased since we grew up here. That is actual, it's fact. Yeah, it's fact everywhere. So you guys have to get out here. It's super family friendly and you'd love this area. Yeah. All right, guys, so we just went over to Wegmans on Eastern Boulevard and got some grub. Wegmans, if you haven't heard about it, I don't know, you must be living in a cave or something, because everybody that comes here or has a Wegmans in their town, because they're starting to go nationwide, raves about it. Wegmans, it's a phenomenal, what would you call it?
Grocery store, supermarket, yeah.
And over in that area over there, down by the lake, is going to be more of your grocery shopping and your shopping centers. So you have a Walmart, you have Aldi, you have Runnings, you have actually a movie theater over there as well.
Harbor Freight.
Yeah, Harbor
Bowling
Freight.
Alley.
Yep. So you're going to have a lot of things to do over in that area as well. And we'll put a picture of on a map of where we're talking about. But also what we forgot to mention too was right in kind of the general area, we have a racetrack that what is it?
It's Ontario County Fairgrounds, and
yeah.
It's the Canandaigua Speedway, and it there's a lot of rally car races that happen every single Saturday night. It's really a good time. If you have never been to a race before, it's definitely a good time to go to. You want to bring some goggles and probably some earmuffs because dirt gets spit at you. And it's extremely loud. So that is on the southern end of Canandaigua. Yep. And I live in Farmington, which is all the way north of Canandaigua, I think it's probably around 10 miles, 12 miles. And you can hear the races at nighttime.
As they're going on. Yeah.
As they're going on. So it's definitely loud out that way when races are going on. So you got to bring your earmuffs, your hearing protection, and your eye protection to avoid some of that dirt in your eyes. But sure. Canandaigua Speedway, Ontario County Fairgrounds is an awesome place to stop by, have some good food, some beer, and watch a race or just attend the county fair there.
Absolutely.
But with all of that said, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the vlog tour of Canandaigua. It is our favorite place. It's where we grew up. It's what we know best. And there's a lot going on around here. It's a frequently traveled area, but hope you guys like the vlog tour. If you have any questions moving forward, certainly feel free to reach out. We'd love to answer those questions for you.
Absolutely.
See you guys.